Morning, guys. So we've got a Borneo dog, right? Local mix. I'm not sure the exact breed, but Latte is checking in for the very first time. So I want to take this opportunity to show you usually how do we handle dogs that are checking in for the first time. Like how do we deal with the reaction? How do we deal with the procedure? How do we deal with the when they see other dogs around? How do we deal with their reaction, whether they like it or they don't like it? And want to document this process so that in the future, hopefully that people will benefit when it comes to understanding bringing their dogs to unfamiliar territory where there are other dogs around, where it's their first time going out to the outside world. So there's a dog over there. This is the reaction. Come here. So this is a very good sign. As you can see, the dog just came in straight away. Usually dogs could not want to come in when they feel unfamiliar. So the important thing is actually to not rush it, right? Is to not rush it. Give them the time to sniff around. Give them the time to process whatever that's happening. Then only we proceed to move on. For some cases, maybe when we are rushing it, it's gonna create a lot of issue, especially when they're not ready. Then it becomes kind of forceful. And I mean, certain occasions it could be necessary. I understand that, because maybe if you do not force it, it's gonna, bad things gonna happen. But when we are in a controlled environment, right now we are not we are not really in the outside world. So I would say that we can be quite chill about it. So there's no need to panic. There's no need to be forceful about it. All we need to do is to be calm. Now let's say if you're someone coming to visit for the first time, you can always ask for advice, or at least you can have an understanding of how the process should be. It's always chill, it's always relaxed, all the way until you're familiar with this place. So if you come here often, then what's going to happen is that your dog is going to feel at home. But if they're coming in for the first time and they feel a little bit worried, a little bit anxious, don't feel so disappointed. Now what's happened is that, you see, now they all ran away already. Did I do anything? Nothing. I just give them the time to sniff around, and now she's relaxed. Then the next step would be me going inside. Come here. Now I open the gate. I have her coming in, and then I close the gate, and then you can see that some of the dogs are coming, but you can see that they are less scary, if you know what I mean. Yeah, sniffing is good, right? But if you compare it to just now, would you want to just proceed? I would say give it some time, you see. Because if you give it some time, this is the experience that I want Latte to go through. Not by going through all those like what you saw just now. But if you see this, isn't it a much peaceful experience, right? So it's very difficult to get traumatized in this case. It's very, very difficult, yeah, compared to what was happening just now. And you can see that they just give us our space where we can just walk in freely. All right, come here. Yeah. Now this is and there's some puppy coming over. Yeah. Tiny is here as well. The tail start wagging. But Latte is showing signs of I don't want to cause any trouble. See, her heads are down, the tails are not fully up. She's not feeling too proud about herself, which is good because she's showing respect to this space, right? Because this is not her territory. She can be proud as much as she wants if she's at home, but when she's coming out to the outside world, it's good for her to be respectful to the outside world. Yeah, and then now the dogs start coming to sniff around, and just give her the time and just be relaxed about it. But all these are done by a professional, right? I've got experience like this for more than over, a lot of years, yeah. So this is for reference. Do not try it at home, but I'm giving you the idea of how it should be done, right? But I wouldn't encourage you to try it for the first time, yeah. Get some help, yeah. Get some help in the sense that have us help you in the very beginning. But if you want to take it as a challenge, by all means, feel free to do so. But then understanding that all what I'm doing over here, how I read all those body language is coming from a lot of years of experience. Well done. Then I proceed, right? Then I proceed. So we've got some dogs over here as well, yeah, and they start barking, yeah. Yeah. All these are fine. Now this is what I meant. Now you can see that this is an obstacle. There's a small drain over here. She's a little bit scared. You see? She's a little bit scared. Yeah? So all this exposure, when we bring our dogs out to the outside world, is actually to help them. Now if I show you another video 3 days later, 5 days later, it's gonna be different. Right? So a lot of owners, they actually worry about ayo this one, ayo that one, because it's the first time, you see. But if we don't do the first time, then there won't be a second time because they're actually scared. Right? So how do we actually do it? Yeah, you see? Yeah, is it so hard? It's not hard. Yeah, we just have to have the right mindset. We just have to have the right approach. That's a good girl. 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 So by using this approach, we should be able to have settled her down quicker than most cases. Now this is a very training approach, right? I'm showing you this as a demonstration, which means that if your dogs are here for training, these are the things that we actually apply for them. So now, because I've got her over here, then I will close this and you'll see that, okay, yeah, if I walk around, okay, yeah. So if the dog is not settled, I mean, you can imagine what they're gonna do. If the dog is not settled, they'll be jumping around, they'll be screaming around, there'll be this and that. But in this case, now is she gonna just lay down and sleep? No, it's gonna take some time. But you can see that I have taken away all those frustration and all those fear and all those things where a normal dog would have gone through, like being in the cage, screaming here and there, trying to escape, all these kind of things, right? And it depends on how early or how late you actually start the training. Because when you start it later, certain dogs, when they come over here, when they're at the age of 5 or 6, they are going to be noisy, they're going to be crazy, they're going to be screaming. But if the puppy is still young, right now I can see that it's probably about 6 months old. Yeah, it's probably about 6-7 months old. So still young, right? And I can see that when we do it right, the process can be quite easy. Now what happens if I walk away? Yeah, we don't want any screaming, we don't want any jumping, and eventually, by having them in this state, by having them in this relaxed state, eventually they're just gonna lay down and fall asleep. And that's how we settle them down in the crate. This is considered crate training as well. This is what we consider the crate training. This is part of a routine training as well, because dogs has to understand that dogs are supposed to go into their crate. And this is also to eliminate any sort of separation anxiety. This also helps them to understand rules, limitation, boundaries. So one exercise itself actually consists of all these things inside. Yeah. Can you see the laying down right now? Almost there. Yeah, sniffing a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. So all we want to do is for her to chill and to eventually lay down and rest. It could take 10 minutes, it could take 30 minutes, it could take 1 hour. You know, we never know. No, it's gonna be happening right now. See? Easy, right? Easy peasy. Now I'm having a really proud moment right now because this is what we want. Settle down in the cage. Yeah. Now, if you have experienced another version of it, they're gonna be crying, they're gonna be whining, they're gonna be jumping around, they're gonna be doing all those kind of things. That's a good girl, okay? That's a good girl. You can see that? Yeah. That's a very good girl. That's a good girl. Just relax. Good girl. That's a good girl. So I'm gonna give her some water. I'm gonna bring in her stuff. So I'll see you in the next video, I guess.